Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bianca and today we are going to be doing my top 22 books to read in 2022. So, welcome back. Happy New Year. If you're new, welcome. I didn't do so great on my TBR for 2021, but hopefully I can do a lot better this year. So let's just start off. These aren't even in any type of order. I just have a giant pile of books right next to me that I'm just picking off. So the first one is Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. This is on my TBR for January, so here's hoping I get to it. This follows a young girl named Anna who is in high school. She's a freshman, and she is attending an elite high school that sets out marine biologists and naval officers and all those other types of people who love to work with the ocean. And as she is going on a school trip, something tragic happens that changes the course of all of these students' lives. And to add to a tough situation, there is also a 150-year-old feud between another school that is actually coming to a head at this moment. So I have a feeling this is going to have a lot of action. It takes place underwater. Gotta love it. Cannot wait to pick this up. The next one is a book that was also on my 2021 books to read, I believe. This is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. So this is about twin sisters, one of who is killed, and then the other sister goes looking for revenge and meets a prince of hell named Wrath, who's supposed to be really sexy. So, yes. I have started this, and I'm on chapter 8, page 60, and so far I'm loving it. Cannot wait to finish. But Carrie Maniscalco is a new favorite author. I read Stalking Jack the Ripper and loved it, so this is definitely one that I think I'm gonna finish. Next we have a romance, sporty romance. This is From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I have heard great things as a sports romance about ice skating, figure skating, and I love to watch it. So apparently this is an enemies to romance type thing. She really hates this guy. So this follows Jasmine Santos, who is a figure skater, and as her career is starting to come to an end, she gets an offer from Ivan Lukov, who she hates, and something starts off between them. I know Mariana Zapata is like the queen of slow burn romances from what I've heard. So I've really wanted to pick her stuff up because I've heard it's good. And so this will be the first one I will pick up by Mariana Zapata, and I've heard this is the best one. So really looking forward to this. Next we have the second book in the All Souls trilogy. This is Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. I have started this. I really want to finish this year. This is one of those books you kind of have to take slow because it has a lot of historical information in it, and while Discovery Witches kind of went faster, this one, the information is a little more heavy, I'll say. So All Souls trilogy follows Diana Bishop, who is a witch, and she discovers this ancient book called Ashmole 782. I believe it's Ashmole 782. And this starts off a whole set of events where she meets a vampire named Matthew Claremont, and they get into a relationship, but you know, vampires and witches aren't supposed to get into relationships, so there's conflict. But this is the second book. Not going to tell you what happens because spoilers for the first, but I want to read this, and I want to see the second season of the TV show that is based off of these books, because the first season was amazing and the book was amazing also, but the first season really did justice to the book. But so I do want to finish this. I started it. I'm on part 3, which is chapter 15 and page 227. So very good. Cannot wait to finish these and then pick up the next two. Next we have another second book in a series. I'm not great at finishing series, so I figure if I put some on here, I'll finish them. But this is Blood and Honey by Shelby Maher, and this is the sequel to Serpent and Dove. Read Serpent and Dove, and I loved it. So I do want to finish Blood and Honey and then read Gods and Monsters, which just came out last year. Wow. Which just came out last year. So Serpent and Dove follows Lou, who is a witch, and Reed, who is a witch hunter, and they're kind of enemies to lovers romance. So this is the second book. Want to pick that up and finish that series. Then we have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. The Mortal Instruments. This is a classic like YA series that I want to pick up. So I bought myself the whole Mortal Instruments box set, and this is the first book. I love the TV show, but I have had why can't I talk? But I have wanted to pick up the book series too. So this will be my first read. I think I started it, but I didn't get very far. If I did, there's no bookmark in here. But I love the series. Definitely want to pick up the book. Cannot wait. I say that a lot, but you know what? I always can't wait. I feel like I've explained this. Next, we have Bunny by Mona Awad. This book, I think, is going to be a hit or miss for me. I have started it. I haven't gotten quite halfway through. I'm on page 98, but I want so much to love this because a lot of my favorite booktubers love this book, and I want to love it too. So far I've enjoyed it. It hasn't really, it's not great for me, but I have enjoyed it. Apparently, if you get to a certain part and then things start taking off. So right now it's kind of just like building and there's no action yet. But this is definitely one I want to finish this year. These characters are so weird and it's so interesting and I want to see what happens. So definitely want to finish Bunny. Next we have The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. I've heard amazing things. I started reading this, I want to say it was Christmas of last year. Christmas of the year before last. And it was amazing. This follows the children of those book villains you hear about, like Dr. Frankenstein and Jekyll and Hyde and all of them. And their daughters are monsters, apparently. So this follows their journey, the daughter's journey. And I want to see where this goes because that seems like such an interesting concept. And I want to see how Theodora Goss handles that. I've heard amazing things, so I'm sure it's good, but definitely want to pick that up. This is one I have seen all over BookTube. Everybody has loved it, and I'm hoping I love it too because I went and I got the Waterstones special edition version. This is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have heard amazing things. I've heard it's lyrical. I've heard it has these moving quotes in it that just cut into your heart, and I want to feel that. So I bought this gorgeous edition from Waterstones. It's got a nice quote on the back that says, "We were like gods at the dawning of the world, and our joy was so bright we could see nothing else but the other." That sounded amazing. That was beautiful, and I cannot wait to pick this up. I kind of want to get a soft cover of this, like a paperback, so that I can annotate it and highlight it because I don't want to mess this up. This is a gorgeous edition with the beautiful end pages. It's not signed, but it does have a ribbon bookmark, and all the foiling is beautiful. So I want to keep this gorgeous and pristine because that is the type of book owner I am. I love when my books are pristine. Next we have Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This was another book that was on my TBR for 2021. And I did start it. I have a feeling this is not going to be my favorite. So far I'm enjoying it. I have annotated it quite a bit. But I don't know. But the second book, Bloodmarked, I believe is called, is coming out this year, and that is on my most anticipated. So I want to finish this one before I get that one. So want to get more into that. Next we have Starfish by Kemi Dawn Bowman. This book came to my attention after Books with Chloe, picked it up off her shelf and cried. and loved it. It became one of her favorite books. So I do want to pick this up and read it. It follows Kiko Himura, who has a difficult relationship with her mother. She suffers from anxiety, and that is something that I can definitely relate to. So when Kiko gets an invitation from a friend to tour art schools along the coast, she jumps on it, and as she leaves home, I guess she discovers herself and who she is, and that just sounds beautiful. This is a gorgeous cover, but the concept just sounds beautiful and amazing, and I can't wait to pick it up. This is another book that I believe was on my TBR for last year. This is Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. This is a gorgeous Fairy Loot edition. That is signed, I believe. Yes, that is signed by the author. And it's about bone criers, I believe, who have to kill their soulmates. And then one of the children of a prior soulmate comes back for revenge. So enemies to lovers. Definitely my cup of tea. And this cover is gorgeous. And I also have the Owl Crate version of Bonecryer's Dawn, which is the sequel. So definitely want to pick this up so I can read that too. The next two are really intimidating reads for me. Both are by the same author. And I think you'll know what they are once I show you what the next one is once I show you this one. This is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses 2 years ago, I believe. And from what I've heard, this is the best book in the series, other than A Court of Silver Flames, which just came out recently. But I do want to pick this up. This is a chunky book, and I am very intimidated. I don't quite remember how I felt about A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have tried to reread it recently, and it just hasn't hit the same way, I don't think. But we'll see how that goes. But I definitely want to move on and pick up this one. I have a bad habit of not finishing series once I start them, and I do want to finish this one. Oh, The Court of Thorns and Roses follows Feyre, who, while trying to feed her family, kills a wolf who ends up turning out to be a fae, and then she's kidnapped back to the Fae world by the Prince of Autumn or something, and stuff happens. And the next one is another by Sarah J. Maas. This is House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City. Oh boy, another chunker. This follows Bryce, whose friends are killed by something, and you know, she wants revenge, so she goes looking for the killers, and she meets a really hot guy named Hunt, I believe. Yep. And what is he? A fallen angel. Thank you. Yes, that's all you need. He's a fallen angel. Again, the second book in this series is coming out this year, and I won't read this first, but it's really big and I'm scared. Okay. Next, we have one of my most anticipated releases from 2021. This is Unchosen by Catherine Blair. This is like a anti-chosen one type book. So this follows Charlotte, who lives in the shadows of both of her sisters, one of whom is actually the chosen one, and the other one who ends up getting her childhood crush as their boyfriend. So Charlotte ends up putting herself forward as the chosen one in order to save her sister when this plague comes up that only her sister can end. So I want to see how this goes. It's got zombies. Yeah, and pirates. So we'll see how that goes. And this was definitely a cover choice because this is beautiful and I love it and cannot wait to pick it up. This is a classic, I believe. I'm almost positive it's a classic. It's Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have no clue what this is about. I believe it's a dark academia. I'm not sure. I don't want to know what it's about, but I do know why I want to read it. And this is a gorgeous Book of the Month edition. Really big book. This is, I don't know if I want to know how many pages. Oh, that's not that many pages. 558. 559. That's not a ridiculous amount. But still a lot. I do want to pick this up. I've heard amazing things. I've heard it's great. I know it's a favorite of some of my favorite booktubers. So definitely want to read that. Next we have a book I'm kind of embarrassed to say I have not read. Because I feel like everybody's read this. This is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I'm hesitant about reading this because when I first heard about it, it was marketed as a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So I thought romance, big romance, you know? I've heard it's not at the forefront of this book. This is more of a family-based version. So this follows Juliet and Roma, who are members of rival gangs and also past lovers. And then there are monsters that are killing people, and it takes place in 1920s Shanghai. Sounds great, right? It does. So this is the gorgeous Fairy Loot with the pink sprayed edges. This is a Fairy Loot exclusive cover. It is got a book plate that is signed by the author, and then we have gorgeous art on the inside. So These Violent Delights, and I believe it's their Violent End, Our Violent Ends that I have coming. So I want to read that before I read the next one, obviously. Next we have Wicked Fox by Cat Show. I'm also kind of embarrassed I haven't read this one, even though I really haven't heard a lot about it on BookTube. This is another one of Books with Chloe's favorite books, I believe, and I have wanted to read it. It has an amazing plot, supposedly amazing premise. Following a girl who is a gumiho, which is a nine-tailed fox, and she loses her soul bead and meets a boy who is being attacked. And as she saves him, that's when she loses her soul bead. His name is June. And there's romance in an enthralling tale inspired by Korean folklore and set in a rich contemporary fantasy world. Wicked Fox is an absorbing love story that heralds the arrival of an exciting new voice in YA. I want to pick this up so bad. I have started it, but I think I want to, I have started it. Where's the bookmark? Here it is. I put a little post-it because I wanted the bookmark back. So I have started it. I got pretty far in. It's like 118 pages. But all of the words, foreign word, the Korean words, kind of give me pause when I get to them because I want to read them in my head the right way, and I have to pause and I have to look them up. So I think what I want to do is pick up the audiobook for this to get through this better, because I think listening to it and looking at it will work better for me. So I think that's how I'm going to tackle that one. The next one is the only nonfiction book I have on this list this year, and this is Will by Will Smith. These are his memoirs. This cover is amazing, and I love Will Smith. And Will Smith has recently done a special with National Geographic that I very much look forward to catching, and so I definitely wanted to pick up his memoir. And the final physical book that I own on my 2022 TBR is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I feel kind of guilty for having not read this. I read The Cruel Prince and I liked it well enough, but I do want to try and finish the series that I've started this year, and this is one of them. So this follows Jude, who is a human living in the Fae realm, and Carden, who is a fairy prince. The last book ended on kind of a big moment, so I kind of want to read the rest of the series to see what happens. I've heard relatively good things, so I do want to pick that up. And then we move to my 2021 bullet journal to read the rest of them. There's only like 3. So one of them is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've heard that this is a beautifully written book, and I definitely want to pick it up. I believe it's like a competition between magicians in a circus. No, this is The Night Circus. Yeah, a competition between 2 magicians and, yeah, in a circus. Getting my books mixed up because the other one I want to pick up is Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and this one is about a night circus that plays a game where you have to find someone or something by the end of the night. So I do want to also pick up that one, which sounds amazing. And I think those were the only 2. Yeah, those were the only 2 that I don't have physically. So those are my 22 books to read in 2022. It's a lot of books. I think I'm gonna do a video about the books that I didn't read in 2021, but I really don't think I read much off that list. So really hoping I do much better this year. I already have 2 of the books off this list on my TBR for January, so that'll give me a definite head start of what I did last year. But all of these books are supposed to be really good. Some of them are really long and intimidating, so that is why they made it on this list. And I very much look forward to picking them up. So let me know what books you're most excited to get to this year. I look forward. Maybe you can recommend me some more that I want to pick up. So let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and don't forget to pick up a good book. Bye.